Yo, YouTube, it's Anarchist of Darkness, also known as Sir Killington of Color Struck. And you guys, I just want to do a video on the police in general. The Walter Scott case got me thinking. It got me thinking about a lot of things. This is coming from an MP, a guy who always wanted to be a cop, or not necessarily wanted to be a cop. My father, who was a criminal at the time, he would always tell me, yo, you should go become a cop. I don't want you to be out here doing what I'm doing because I have no choice. He always wanted me, he's like, you have a choice, John. He would always coach these things to me. And at some point I decided I wanted to be a cop. And he pretty much pushed it on me, right? And it was not a bad job. It just has a whole lot of terrible people working these jobs for that matter. But I want to talk about the Walter Scott, Micheal Slager situation. The foreman from that case, which is weird because he had a charge on him. I don't even want to talk about that no more because it's just going to get me angry and I'm just going to take off on another tangent. Yeah, that case was set up and thrown out. That's what I believe. That case was set up. Like, they did that on purpose. The DA figured out a way how to not get fired, essentially. Like all those other DAs got fired from those cases on cops where the charges were dropped when they killed somebody suspiciously. And they lied on their report and video said different, that type of thing. Anyway, let's get back to the police. Look, guys, whenever a cop says they feel like in a Walter Scott case, somebody grabbed at his belt, or Walter Scott pushed him. It looked like he pushed him, but it looked like he could have been possibly grabbing at his belt, right? And he grabbed at his belt, then fucking turned away and ran, right? In a case like that, whenever a cop says some bullshit like, I felt my life was threatened, there's a law that was passed that basically says if they can articulate why they felt their life was in danger, then they can't be, for why they felt their life was in danger, and that's why they took the necessary precautions to protect their life, they can't be charged for that, essentially, right? It's basically Cops Lives Matter bill, essentially. That's really a law. That's all it is. It's a big ass gray area that they put smack dab in the middle that all they have to do is articulate as to why they felt the way that they felt. Now, for this cop, he says that what's his name grabbed at his belt. He thought he gained control of his taser, and as we saw, he dropped his taser by his body, Walter Scott's body, on video. He felt as though that Walter Scott had his taser, and that's why he decided to fire and shoot him in the back. Let me tell you guys something about these tasers and these holsters and these belts. Now, as a person who's had a chance, an MP who has had a chance to work with this equipment, also when I was a security at Meade, federal security guard at Meade, I had a chance to work with this type of equipment. Now, everybody don't have the same holster. Everybody doesn't have the same anything, right? Everybody's things are not the same. Some people have different type of holsters, but the one theme that's not always been in place, but that has mainly been in place for the longest of time, since all those cops so long ago would say, oh, he grabbed out my gun, so I took my gun and shot him. All of these every one of these cops now have a level 2 or better. They're mandated to have a level 2 or better holster. Now, level 1, you can grab at a level 1 and take somebody's weapon. You can grab like one of those leather things, the little concealed carry. You can pretty much grab somebody's weapon out of a concealed carry thing. They're not really that much protected. You can pretty much pull it out with sheer force. Even if it has a little strap over it or a button, you can pretty much just yank it out. Level 1s are not that protective. That's why they mandated level 2. So now when you go up to level 2 requires that you have to press a button, you got to flick the thing that holds it in place off, and you got to pull it out you got to do those things simultaneously just to get the weapon out. Because if a perp or somebody decides they want to grab at your weapon, they won't be able to just pull it out. They would have to really fight. They'd have to sling you and throw your body in your body weight in order to take the weapon out of your holster, just doing by sheer force. you can't just take somebody's weapon out on a level 2. Level 2, you have to do a whole bunch of like essentially codes with your hand in order to take it out. Level 3 is the same way. It's a button, it's a twist, and it's a pull. It's like grabbing a pull and a button in a pull or something. That's like a level 2. So whenever a cop like him says like somebody grabbed at his weapon, he thought that Walter Scott had his weapon, it's bullshit. Because you know that on a taser level 2, you have to pop off the buttons and you have to press the button to pull. Like you have to pop off the buttons and you have to press a button and pull out, I think. Don't hold me to that. It's the same thing with your Glocks or your M9s or your handgun, your issued handgun. You have to have a level 2 because when you're chasing somebody, you don't want your weapon to just fall out. It's the same thing with a taser. So I'm almost positive when this cop had a level 2, and that's what somebody investigating should have done, because you don't just think somebody takes your weapon. You know when somebody takes your weapon. You almost know. It's not, oh my God, I think it. You almost know, because both those with a taser is at least a pound. You would feel it. Okay? Same thing with a handgun. If somebody takes your handgun, there's a weight lifted off of your waist. You would feel it. Okay? Now, even with the taser, it would still take a whole lot more pulling to take somebody's taser out. That's on a level 2, 3, and obviously level 3 is more safe because you have more, but it also takes time off of your draw speed. So a lot of people just like level 2s. Level 2s is harder to pull. It's not as hard as a level 3 to pull out, but it's possible to take away from a cop. But it's not like this possible. It's more like there would be a second or actual second of a struggle, not like the Walter Scott case. That's why I wanted to do this video. You guys need to listen and think about what's going on, because people leave out evidence. It feels like people leave out evidence just to let these cops walk. You can't just take a level 2. So that means he was incompetent, and he should at least be given a manslaughter case, right? He panicked. That's different, right? Now, human error is different when you shoot him and he survived, but you shot him and he died, and you planted your weapon right next to him on camera. Because imagine if we didn't have that camera, it would have just been like Walter Scott took his taser. Walter Scott took his taser and he shot him. That would have been a narrative, but we had a camera there, and it shows a completely different narrative. Even if Walter Scott reached for his weapon, Walter Scott didn't have his weapon. He knew Walter Scott didn't have his weapon, because you would feel it. It's a lot quicker to take somebody's weapon. And he could still say, like I said in the beginning of the video, that he felt like his life was in danger. But there were too many lies told for that to be the truth. You told too many lies to protect yourself, opposed to just telling the truth and then saying, oh, I felt like my life was in danger, and because he pulled at my thing and I thought he had I saw he had my taser. There are too many lies told. So anyway, I did this video a lot longer than I thought I would, but that's just some thoughts, guys. You gotta look up don't take my word like I say. Look up everything I say. Look up level 2, level 3 holsters, and maybe it'll bring some light to you guys. That's the only evidence I can think of that was shown to the jury that the foreman was talking about, because otherwise I feel like he's just bullshitting.